Welcome back to the Rose Garden in Portland.
I'm Kyle Stanfield alongside Ryan Goff. Tonight's presentation of the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network. Our halftime report is brought to you in part by Reebok Lacrosse, performance engineered, technology-driven, NLL proven. Your move, Reebok Lacrosse, by SiriusXM Satellite Radio. With the most live sports, news, talk, and entertainment, everything worth listening to is now on Sirius. And by NLLProShop.com, your official online home for authentic apparel, merchandise, and Reebok Lacrosse equipment. That's at NLLProShop.com. Visit that today.
Portland leads Colorado 9-6 at halftime at the Lumberyard. 7 goals coming from Portland, and then Colorado cut it down, but the LumberJax scored 2 of the last 3 to get it to a 9-6 edge at halftime. Led 5-2 at the end of the first quarter did Portland after Colorado came out of the gates blazing, scored the first 2 goals of the game in the first 2 minutes, separated by only about 30 seconds against the rookie goaltender Matt Flindell. Brian Langtry scores, then Chris Gill scores to make it 2-0 Colorado. After that, though, Richard Morgan, Brody Merrill, 2 unassisted goals, and then Scott Stewart and Derek Molosky to close out the first half, or the first quarter for Portland. The LumberJax, quite a little offensive surge after seeing them at home a week ago, less than a week ago, last Sunday against San Jose, have a pretty big offensive struggle, come out and lead at the end of the first quarter 5-2.
Yeah, exactly. Come out and they play very, very dismal in the last home game here at the Rose Garden. Then go out last night to Edmonton, only scored 10 goals, and already tonight they have 9 just in the first half. So this offensive explosion is what you really want to see going into the last 5 games of the season for Portland.
A combined 7 penalties in the first quarter between the two led to a couple of power play chances, but neither team scored until the final goal of the period. Derek Molosky made good on the power play on the Josh Gallant penalty, a holding call against John. But let's talk a little bit about Brody Merrill, named the transition player of the week for his efforts last week in the home-and-home series against San Jose. Brody Merrill, 2 unassisted goals in this game, both off breakaways. He's had a nose for the net coming off the ball.
And always a nose for the loose ball. You know, league leader in loose balls the last 3 seasons. He's always that guy you can always find picking up the loose trash, especially in the center of the field. But Brody, as you said, getting those 2 breakaway goals. Very, very important for the LumberJax and himself to get on the scoreboard and kind of get on the scoreboard early like we've seen. And as you can tell, by his transition efforts, to his defensive efforts, to his offensive efforts, he really wants this game because he understands what is on the line.
Merrill and Portland led 5-2 after the first quarter. It was Merrill who picked up a holding call, a penalty just 30 seconds into the second quarter, led to a Gary Brzezinski power play goal for Colorado that ended the 5 unanswered streak by Portland, cut the lead to 5-3, but Portland would come back scoring 2 straight goals. Richard Morgan followed by Tim Campo. Campo's goal, a huge lift, getting his stick up in the air, falling backwards and throwing it up over the right shoulder of the goalkeeper, Curtis Paladror, extended Portland's lead to 7-3. Then Gavin Prout got in the action, followed by Derek Molosky, and Brian Langtry scores 2 goals in less than a minute from each other. Langtry with the first half hat trick, 3 goals by Brian. In the first half, Matt Yeager adds a goal to end the second quarter. Portland leads 9-6 over Colorado. Any first half thoughts in this game that means a lot for playoff position?
You know, as you kind of tell, is that with the importance of this game, you think a little bit more physical play. At the very start, you saw that from Portland. Bruce Alexander, Jameson Custer with that huge hit on Brian Langtry at the center. You know, finally Colorado seemed to kind of come out of its coma. It's a team that usually is known for starting slow, finishing strong. So it's going to be interesting to see which one comes out on top, either the offense for Colorado or the defense from LumberJax. Both extremely good, extremely powerful. So, like we said, it's going to be an interesting and entertaining second half, which it has been in the first, because, as we said, we know what's on the line.
Quick look at the scoreboard before we get set for the start of the second half. Calgary tonight defeats Rochester. I swear the Nighthawks at one point were leading Calgary by like a 7-3 score, but Calgary comes back, wins the game 12-9, and with the win, I believe Calgary wraps up the West Division Championship. They have a couple of games coming up with Portland at the end of the year, and we'll check that for you to make sure that that is the case, with Calgary getting the victory tonight. Edmonton loses at Minnesota. The Swarm a 9-7 winner over Edmonton, and now solidifies itself in a tie for 4th place with San Jose for the 4th and final playoff spot in the West Division. Buffalo a 15-11 winner over Boston, but with all the scenarios that the Bandits had to clinch a playoff berth, none of them came true. They had to pick up a win, which they did, but they needed Boston to lose yesterday at Toronto, which they did not. Needed Rochester to lose. Actually, they did. So Buffalo clinches a playoff berth with a win tonight and a Rochester loss. Philadelphia won an 11-7 winner over New York. Calgary gets the regular season tie. They got a win, but with Portland winning tonight, Calgary would not wrap up the West Division title. Instead, they would only need one more win. But if Portland loses tonight, Calgary gets the West Division title.
When you flip it, Colorado loses tonight, and look at that log jam sitting in 3rd place. 3rd through 5th, all tied, all going for the same and final playoff spot, or last 2 playoff spots, I should say. So that's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out, especially as the season goes along.
We're going to take a quick break, come back with the start of the second half. Portland leading Colorado 9-6. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network. Start of the second half from the Lumberyard. A beautiful spring day in Portland, Oregon this afternoon has fallen to nightfall. Ryan Goff, Kyle Stanfield indoors watching Portland and Colorado, a battle for sole possession of second place in the National Lacrosse League's Western Division. Portland leads Colorado 9-6. Starts off working left to right with possession, but a quick give up. As in net for Colorado, Curtis Palador, the veteran of multiple franchises, 6th in total saves in NLL history, to contrast him in net for Portland, as you see it on the screen now. Matt Flindell, the rookie, making his first start, saved 23 in the first half. Oh, they changed goals. So in there now for Colorado.
Andrew Lation now comes into the game for Colorado. See if he replaces Palador, who gave up 9 goals on 28 shots. So see if the goalie change helps out Colorado to get back into this game.
Saved by Lashon in front. Back going to work is Colorado off the rebound. 1 minute into the second half. And we don't have a penalty, which is always a good thing, as the teams combine in the first half for a bunch of penalties. Upfield comes Colorado, 17 to shoot. Prout at the top. Gavin works it through the middle, finds a lane, but an illegal screen is called against Colorado. And after nearly every whistle, there's been a couple of extra shoves between Colorado wearing the white road uniforms. A delayed start this evening in Portland because of the gear that was kind of delayed on one of the United flights that Colorado took to Portland. So we didn't start till 8:08. It was a scheduled 7:30 beginning, Pacific time. Shot missed. In transition comes Colorado, trailing 9-6. Brian Langtree near side has 3 goals. Ball goes away from him to the far side. At the top is Jamie Shuchuk. And near side along with Langtree, you have Josh Sims from Annapolis, Maryland. 8, now 7 to shoot. Over the top, Rosiski. His shot going to be partially blocked. Alexander tying him up. And the shot clock will expire without Colorado getting a shot on goal. Andrew Lachon played yesterday in the loss to Rochester, but now back in the game. Lachon saved 35 of 46 in the 12-8 loss yesterday. Centering not going to work as Dan Stroop cut in front of the net. Ball goes to the far side. Conway, with 1 second, will just dump it and ditch. Back to work goes Colorado offensively. Colorado's used 4 goalkeepers this season. Remember G. Nash, he's played 3 games. Jeremy Ogden with 1 game, but only played about a minute. Really 3 goalkeepers splitting time, with the bulk going to Andrew Lachon, who's played in 12 games and is now back in the second half for Colorado, which trails by 3. Trying to work back, Langtree with 3 goals. Off a screen, has an angle. Bounce pass, not even close. Out to Pratt, who's got hit. Prout just nailed with the stick of Tyler Codron. Outlet pass. Stewart comes up with it. He'll go in front. On the doorstep, swings back to his left. Tried to cut it across. Doesn't go. And the ball brought out by Colorado. 11.5 to go in the third.
2 offensive transactions ago, Peter Jacobs left the field with a look like a bum ankle. So we'll see how that transpires.
Bounce shot gonna go. Jamie Shuchuk puts in his first opportunity, 17th of the year. Gets Colorado on the board first in the second half. Lead cut down to 9-7.
Sims on the breakaway gives it to Shuchuk. Shuchuk acts like he's going high on Flindell. Skips it low between the 5-hole. Flindell can't stop it. Makes that 9-7 score. As Ryan mentioned, 11:25 remaining third quarter.
Shuchuk, a second-round pick by Colorado in 2006. Gets his 17th goal on the year. Ball is loose. Prout comes up. Swings it across. Almost goes into the Portland bench right through the door almost. Colorado brings it into the Portland zone, trailing 9-7, where they scored just a moment ago. Here's Prout working one-on-one, battling against Yeager. Swings it back to his left. Nice work by Flindell to come up and scoop it into his stick. Across half field goes the LumberJax. Merrill leads the charge with Forget. In front, missed the delivery as Ryan Powell was streaking toward the front of the crease. And the rebound comes out to the goalkeeper, Lachon, who outlets it for Colorado. Over the top to midfield with 10.5 to play. Colorado trailing 9-7.
Matt Yeager still in the field, like we mentioned, the rookie. That was a nice transaction last time. Rookie on the veteran Prout, then going to the rookie in the goal for Flindell. So great youth on the team right now for Portland, trying to build that future as a franchise.
5 to shoot. Langtree skips it across the turf. Does not go. No new shot clock, so the pickup by Rosiski up near midfield. We'll give it back to Portland. Tyler Codron, who's been penalized a couple of times in the second quarter, to Molosky. Molosky has 2 goals. 3 Portland LumberJax looking for a hat trick. Up in front, shot missed. Stroop, low shot, rebound, out to Richard Morgan. He's trapped in the far side through the double team. Ball high, right in front. I don't think Lachon saw it for a moment. Finally picks it up with under 10 to play. 9-7 the score. Portland leading Colorado, which goes back to the offensive. The Mammoth come in a 6-7 record against their opponents this season. We kind of look at the series history. Colorado leads all time 6-4, is 3-2 against Portland in the last 5 contests in Portland. 3-2 in the last 5 home games at the Pepsi Center. Shot clock violation will bring us to under 10 to play. 9:17 to go, third quarter. Portland leads Colorado 9-7. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by wallu.com. Decorate your home or office with a life-size decal of a logo of your favorite National Lacrosse League team. Show your team pride with the team decal exclusively from Wallu. For more information, visit wallu.com. That's wallu dash the letter U. That's wall-u.com. And coming soon, decals of your favorite NLL players. Check it out at wallu.com.
Portland gets it back. LaShawn in net after his counterpart, Curtis Paladror, played the entire first half. Paladror stopped 19 shots in the first half. And since then, it's all been LaShawn who kind of gets tripped up by the net colliding in the back of Richard Morgan. Colorado back to the offensive. Prout winds up. Shot just low. Saved by Flindell. On the rebound, Prout gets it back. Going to have an opportunity trying to squeeze between a couple. Shot missed. Rebound Jay, as it's Jed Prosner with the rebound. 9-7 the score. Portland leads Colorado. 8:20 to go in the third quarter. Wind up, Langtree, his shot off the left pad of Flindell. Fresh shot clock for Colorado. Lob over the back. Going to go tripping through. Pushed down on the shot was Prout. Defense being applied by Tyler Codron. No new shot clock. Backing in underneath. Brzezinski going to miss it, and the shot's going to go over and back. We'll give it back to Portland. The last 5 games, really quick, the home team is 2-3. Colorado in the last 5 is 2-1 at the Portland Rose Garden. The home team, however, has lost the 2 meetings so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, teams playing well, especially in the Western Conference. You can never tell. It really isn't a home field advantage. If you look across the West, teams other than Calgary are fairly weak or on the road, home or away. So it's going to be interesting. Calgary 5-1 at home. Everybody else right around 500. So those other field playoff spots, obviously it's nice to play at home, but I know if the importance is really there.
Nice diving shot a moment ago by Corey Conway. Now Colorado, long outlet pass. Nick Carlson has help to the right. Missed Chris Gill, who wraps it up off the rebound from the board. Swings it back. Jamie Shuchuk kind of finding some screens. Freed up off the double screen. Pitched it back behind him. Back to Sedgwick. Behind the back. Missed by Crompton. It was a crease violation anyway. 7:13 to go. Portland leads 9-7 over Colorado.
Very impressed tonight how Matt Flindell is playing. You know, rookie coming in, haven't seen a minute all year. Comes in, lets the first few couple go by, but since then has stopped 29 out of the 34 shots. 27 out of the 34 shots that he has seen. So great opening debut for Matt Flindell. Shot up top from Campo. Gets ricocheted out to the far side. Yeah,
yesterday in Edmonton, Joel Weber had his first start. Shoved down as Conway Cousset all over the top of Corey. And then tonight you mentioned Flindell. Hopefully a different result if you're a LumberJax fan, as yesterday the loss went to Weber. Off the screen, Powell with 17 to shoot. Plenty of time for Portland, leading by 2. Molosky off the screen, has 2 already. Looking for the hat trick, saved off the stick. Rebound comes out. Richard Morgan sandwiched between 2, and he took a swipe at Ethington, and now he'll go after another Colorado Mammoth, as Richard Morgan may be destined for another trip to the penalty box.
Richard Morgan, he should just get like a pillow, maybe a cot inside the penalty box. He's spending a lot of time in there. Might just have to spend the night. But you see, sandwiched in between a couple of guys. But obviously that retaliation is what's going to be seen. Richard Morgan and Derek Molosky will sit down for Portland. We'll see who went down for Colorado. I know there's a player in there right now. We cannot have that vantage point. We will see what comes up.
So Gavin Prout appealing the call. Richard Morgan's heading to the penalty box for the 3rd time in 2 quarters. He is in there along with Molosky. They kind of conference what just went down. Colorado, I believe, put 2 in the box as well, so even strength still. Prout will bring it across. Colorado and Portland 5-on-5 with 6:22 to go, 3rd quarter. 6:20 to go in the 3rd. 9-7 the lead. Colorado trailing by 2. Prout at the top, spins to his left, has an opening. Left side, saved by Flindell. Being crushed, I should say, was Shuchuk on his shot. Gill behind the net will go back to work with a fresh shot clock. Trailing by 2, 9-7.
Prout up top with Langtree. Langtree gets pounded again, this time by Forget, and that's going to become a penalty.
A check going to be the call. More penalties being dished out in the later stages of the third quarter. And I believe only one player called on this one, and it appears to be Luke Forget for Portland. No. They're going to want Alexander to serve it. I can't tell. They're motioning toward the bench. And this should give Colorado a power play opportunity. Have they got their man yet? Bruce Alexander's the one being called for it. Let's watch the replay. Try to see Alexander pushed on that far side. Did that spark the penalty? So Alexander's second penalty gives the power play to Colorado. Don't believe we have power play stats this evening, but only one goal scored by either team on their respective power plays. Tipped back into the zone. Prout has it in front of the doorstep, scores! Bounced it through only 17 seconds into the power play, and the captain, Gavin Prout, has his second. Colorado is within one.
That is a guy you do not want to get loose. Gavin Prout, first of all, great play by Langtree to keep it in the zone, first of all. Prout, another quick stick to pick it back up, and then he gets right in front of the doorstep, and no matter who you are in goal, that's a tough man to stop. Gavin Prout, one of the best in the National Lacrosse League.
So face-off coming up. Colorado was within one. Ends the power play. Molosky and Richard Morgan still in the penalty box from earlier violations, but they're going to be coming out shortly, as is the two for Colorado. Even strength after the goal, but Colorado is the closest it's been since having a 2-0 lead. Around the back, circling is Powell, cutting left to right, cuts it back in front. Long outlet, Merrill comes in to help on the offensive set. Campo centering pass just wide. And Campo make that Stroop, comes out with it with 5. He works it toward the middle of the field. Spin move, open shot, miss left. Save by the goalie, Andrew Lachon. Collision, ball comes loose, no penalty being called. Out with it comes Forsyth. And Colorado looking for the equalizer with under 5 to go in the third quarter, trailing 9-8. Sims into the zone, left side, one-on-one. Works it to the middle, gets Jaeger off the bar. Rebound, Langtree's second shot won't go. One more effort, this one bounces wide to the left. 3 straight for Colorado will not go in. And out in front, Jaeger has an opportunity if he wants it. We'll have the under 5 timeout at the next dead ball. Coming in to help, Scott Stewart splits the defense over the top, deflected. Didn't get to the net. 12 seconds left, Campo's delivery. He's shoved down on the shot. 8 seconds left, no shot clock. It goes over and back. That's the call. And we have 4:09 to go in the third quarter. 3 straight looks on the Colorado end, but they cannot find the tying goal and trail 9-8 still late in the third quarter. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network.
After this weekend's games, find out where your team stands by visiting NLLinsider.com. Check out Insider every Monday morning after Brian Shanahan's exclusive NLL Power Rankings. That's NLLinsider.com, brought to you by the writers and editors of Inside Lacrosse Magazine. We got 4:09 remaining here in the third, 9-8 in favor of Portland. 36 shots taken by Portland on goal, shots on goal for Colorado, 39. Matt Flindell in goal, has been the entire game. Right now in goal for the Mammoth is Leishon. And they're starting out the game with Palador. So 4 minutes remaining, third quarter. Mammoth with the ball in their zone.
Trying to get some Sonic coupons over here. Lucky Rowe is just down to our right. Got to talk to the guy. Get 2 coupons right here for the broadcasters. Come on.
Hey, he's in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, shot by Shuchuk up top, rolls out, and that'll be a shot clock violation. 3:38 remaining here in the third. And what do we get? We got a little Sonic.
$5. That's good enough for like a cookie dough blast or something like that.
Exactly. Hey, absolutely. Thanks for doing that work, Ryan. We appreciate that.
9-8 the score. Portland leads Colorado. Shot missed. Almost went out of play. Leishon's played well in goal. Has not allowed a goal in the period. Meanwhile, Colorado has scored 2. Gets back within 1 with the equalizer here if they can score. Shot missed. Didn't get to the net. In front, Cadron trying to push off. Defending the rebound. Out to Merrill. Merrill has help. Has Yeager to his left. Forget streaks down 2. 3-on-3. Portland swings it to the left and tipped from behind. Kind of anticlimactic there as Safrick was there to help. Prout brings it into the zone. Off the screen, spins to his left, falling down. Forget from behind prevented the shot. And now Prout will be sat upon. Trying to get the ball away from him. Finally, Merrill comes up with it. Portland leads by 1. No one in the penalty box. That's important because we've had residents in the pen all night. With 2:40 to go in the third quarter. 10-second call, charged against Portland. They did not get it across midfield. So an unforced error will give it back to Colorado. Mammoth 6-7 on the year. LumberJax are 6-6. And the winner of this also gets the the head-to-head tiebreaker, as they've split earlier in the year, each team winning on the other's home field. Colorado comes up with it in front, shot, and we're tied. Diving through was Jed Prosner on the 14th goal of the year. Colorado has tied it up at 9 apiece.
You want to talk a shot and score, that was pure effort. Check out Prosner cutting through the center. Right here, Prosner, I guess this looks like 4 sticks hit him. 2 sticks hit him and reps it right over Flindell. Talk about strength. Jed Prosner with the goal, making it 9-9, 2:20 remaining third quarter.
Kind of was screened off, didn't see where the ball was going to come out. By the time he saw it, it was over his left shoulder already. Flindell has saved already in the game, I think 38 shots. No, excuse me, 28 shots. Not even that. 32, there's the math. 32 shots on the night, but it has a couple get through him in the third quarter, which is now with only 2 minutes left. 9-9 the score. Off the screen and roll in front for the lead. Missed, and it goes out of play. Colorado will keep it on the Chris Gill offering in front of the net. Colorado, another opportunity. Have not led since it was 2-0 in the first quarter. That was in the first 2 minutes. Brandon Langtree has 3 goals. Sims on the near side works it back to his left. Up front, Langtree calls for it, shoots, save. Minute and a half to go. Portland with the ball brings it across midfield. No goals for the LumberJax. Last goal came with a minute and a half remaining in the second quarter. Ryan Powell, make that Conway. Uses a screen from Stroop Molosky. A little space on the right side. Closes quickly. 10 to shoot for Portland. Pitching it back behind him. Campo, who's been quiet, will not get to it before Sims does. A minute 9. Up to Crompton. Where's the shot clock? There's still a minute left in the game. The shot clock is blank. So kind of a miscue on the shot clock. Colorado with possession, trying to get a lead. Tied up at 9. Shot, score! Over the top, Prosser, another one. And back-to-back scores. That was within the allotted shot clock time. And the Colorado Mammoth lead for the first time in the second half, 10-9.
Great shot right off the get-go up top. Nice pass right here. Gets him open, rips it over the right shoulder this time of Flindell to making it that 10-9 advantage. 49 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. It is amazing how Mammoth have just kind of, like we said, come alive here in the second half. Starting slow, a little jet lag, or hey, when you don't have any equipment, first of all, it makes it tough to play. But coming into the game very, very slow, kind of jet lagged like we said, but now coming alive here in the second half. We'll see if the LumberJax can have some sort of rebuttal as we go into the fourth.
15 on the shot clock. Colorado scored 4 straight goals. Centering shot just over the top. The pass just went long. Powell has 6 by the boards with 4. Swings it to the near side, out in front of Miloski. He'll chase it down with 1. Shot going to be missed. In the way was Safrick. 13 seconds, pushing it up for Nick Carlson. He stops, gives it to Prout with 8. Colorado on top, 10-9. Prout eyes it with 4. Now 3. He's just going to wind up. Delivers. Nope, in front. Pushed the shot effort by Shuchuk. He lost his helmet on the delivery, and we're through 3 quarters in Portland. Colorado, 4 straight goals. Don't allow one in the third quarter. And the Mammoth take a 10-9 lead into the final period of regulation. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network.
You can now wear what the pros wear and play with the same equipment used by the world's greatest lacrosse players. You can find it all in one place by visiting NLLProShop.com. It's your online home for authentic and replica jerseys, team merchandise, and the best equipment in the game, produced by Reebok. Visit NLLProShop.com and get in the game. That's NLLProShop.com.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 goals scored by Colorado in the third quarter. The Mammoth take a 1-goal lead into the start of the fourth. Colorado 10, Portland 9. Ryan Goff next to me, Kyle Stanfield on the NLL Network. One of the final 2 home games remaining for the Portland LumberJax, trying to stay above 500 and keep second place that they've occupied for the majority of the year, trying to catch up to Calgary. If Portland loses right now, Calgary clinches the Western Division.
They've already clinched the playoff spot that we talked about earlier tonight, but when you clinch the division, you get the home field advantage throughout. So Calgary, like we mentioned before, very, very, very tough place to play. Only lost 1 out of their 6 games this year at home, 5-1 at home, 4-2 on the road, 9-3 overall. Calgary, a very, very tough team, but as we mentioned before, early this season, doesn't matter where you play or where you are. Take, for example, this LumberJax team last year, sneaking in the playoffs and making it all the way to the Western Division Finals.
The final 3 games for Portland, at Calgary, at Minnesota. The regular season finale back in the Rose Garden against Calgary. 2 games of the final 3 against the Roughnecks. But none of that means anything if you don't win tonight. And for Colorado, inspired in the third quarter were the Mammoth. They lead 10-9. Getting 4 straight goals, including the final 2 straight from Jed Prosner. Colorado wins the extended face-off, diving in the crease, will commit a violation. Portland will get it on the first trip down. I think that was Prosner. It was Langtree. For Portland, still stuck on 2 goals each. Brody Merrill, Derek Miloski, and Richard Morgan. Shot, Powell, missed, save. Playing well, shutting out Portland in the third quarter was the new goaltender, Andrew Lachon. Never really got a reason why he didn't start the game, did we?
We did not, but, Palador did a good job in the first half. He did allow 9 through, but saved over 20. But so far, Lachon pitching the shutout here in the second half, doing a great job in the pipes for Colorado.
Prosner, he has 2, looking for the hat trick. Shot saved. Matt Flindell, the rookie in goal tonight for Portland. has made 35 saves. Yeager has a goal for Portland, pitches it to the far side. Peter Jacobs, 13 on the year, still looking for his first tonight. Lob over the top. Yeager chases it down, near side corner. Portland working right to left. Campos scoots it in. We're tied at 10. Tim Campos' second goal this evening.
Tim Campo from up top, near side. Here we go, Tim Campo from up top. He wants to go low and does on Leishon. Leishon can't pick it up quick enough. Head goes back, knew that he should have caught that one. But we are tied up, 10 apiece, 13:50 remaining, fourth quarter.
First goal for Portland since there was a minute 40 remaining in the second quarter. That goal for Campo comes in the first minute of the fourth quarter. We're tied at 10, and Portland has the possession. In the middle, Jacobs spins out. Powell's at the top. He'll go away from it toward the net. Winds up way high. Gallant comes out with it, swings it over to Sims, and a penalty coming up against against Colorado. And Gallant still on the turf, shaken up, colliding with Molosky. That's against Molosky. Why'd they blow it dead? Colorado had possession on the breakaway. Molosky back to the box.
Molosky, just like Morgan, needs to go ahead and, like you said, pay rent in the penalty box. Also, Powell will sit down for the penalty that was the first one. Molosky had the second one, so both of them will sit for 2 minutes. Gallant still shaking up on the turf.
5-on-3 upcoming for Colorado, which is that great goal play from Andrew Leishon. Leishon lost the decision yesterday at home against Rochester, but came in the second half replacing Curtis Paladror. Gallant will get some help off the turf, but a 2-minute, two-man advantage coming up for Colorado. Good opportunity, if ever, to get a 2-goal lead when you have a couple people in the box. Tied up at 10 right now, just a minute and a half into the fourth quarter, and Colorado will start its possession on their half. Prosner to the near side, and down you have Chris Gill. To the far side, Prout's in the corner. I'm sure we'll have Jamie Shuchuk in there as well.
Very difficult position those guys have put their team in. Those three defensemen in the back, and then Flindell have taken on all five of some of the best goal scorers in the NLL. Quick shot right up top, tried by Gill. He comes out on top.
Fresh shot clock. You have Prosner, who's had the hot hand in there. Shuchuk is not. Instead, that's Langtree who has it, winds up, low shot, going to be saved. There's a good opportunity for Portland to tick off 30 seconds from the clock. Just a half minute into the two-man advantage. The PK unit's got to do something. Tim Campo, Scott Stewart, and Corey Conway will be the three working against the 5 of Colorado. 10 seconds left. Stewart slashed at, won't go. Stewart had two defenders fall down. He behind the back, easily saved by Leishon, but took about 28 seconds off the penalty, which has a minute left. Carlson will roll it over to his teammate, which will start things off for Colorado in the Portland zone, tied up at 10.
Langtree and Prosner up top. Looks like Shuchuk near side and Prout up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen.
10 seconds left. Prout. No look. Langtree winds up, scooted it through, and pounding his stick to the turf is Flindell as he allows the 11th goal on the evening. Colorado back up 11-10 on the power play goal.
Only 38 seconds remaining on that power play. The LumberJax thought they might be able to sneak out from behind or from underneath that rock of the two-man disadvantage, but Langtree says no business, making it 11-10, 12 minutes remaining, fourth quarter.
Out comes Molosky. Staying in will be Ryan Powell, so 5-on-4 now. Colorado leading 11-10. They'll have 38 seconds left. Portland, Custer trying to scoot out the face-off, gets it to Condren. That's the best case scenario for Portland. They'll be able to get the power play down to single digits, trailing by 1. Condren kind of tied up far side. Ball came loose into this Colorado zone. Picked up behind the net. 17 seconds remaining on the power play. Do you bring another man? You will not. Carlson instead will just keep the one-man advantage. 10, now 9. as this power play will expire within this shot clock. 5 seconds left on the man edge. Powell's set to come out, and the ball got behind. That's going to get through the power play. Powell's on to help. Full strength with 10 seconds left. Colorado with possession. Shuchuk got it knocked away. Nice play by Powell. Excuse me, that was the captain, Pat Jones. Here comes Brody Merrill. Taller Merrill uses a screen and puts it in. We're tied at 11. Brody Merrill has the hat trick. 11-11. With 11 minutes left to go. Seriously, that was a heck of a goal by Brody Merrill. 11-11 with 11 minutes, and a tripping call coming up. Oh no, sorry, they're just indicating that they need some help with the pads by Andrew Lachon. Second goal given up by Colorado in the second half.
Let's look up to this Brody Merrill goal. He has the ball right now on the right side. Flips it right over the shoulder of Lachon to make it, like you said, the hat trick. Brody, they thought they would hand it off right there to Conway. Doesn't. Freezes the defense over the shoulder. Brody Merrill being one of the keystones of that offense tonight for Portland.
Saw a sign across the way. Now, does it say, don't forget Luc Forget, or does it say, don't forget Luc Forget?
Or they don't know how to pronounce his name and think it's Forget. Carlson, quick shot, Flindell with the save.
Forget spelled F-O-R-G-E-T. I digress. Colorado takes it away. Tied up with Portland at 11 apiece. Under 11 to play in the fourth quarter. Coming across is Colorado to the far side as Langtree, don't think has a goal in the second half. Had two in the second quarter. No look, shot off the rail. Roziski, it's going to bounce all the way into the backside. And out to get it for Colorado is the goalkeeper, Lachon. Roziski to the near side, along with Shuchuk. Prout gives the feed. Chris Gill in front, over the top, save. No one picks up the rebound, though. Fresh shot clock for Shuchuk. Battling against, I think that's Stroop. Make that, not Stroop, but Stewart. 10 minutes even. Ball into the corner. Gill came out with it behind the net. Nice work to cover it up. Was Flindell. And across comes Yeager with under 10 to play. Portland trying to regain the lead after allowing 4 straight goals in the third quarter to really yield what looked like a comfortable game for Portland. They now found themselves down twice in the fourth quarter. Campo spins back to his right, in front, being held up. The shot missed, rebound, scores.
The little man on campus comes through again. Tim Campo with his third goal of the evening.
Finally, someone broke that hat trick brick wall. Merrill had it just a moment ago, and now Campo gets his. 3 goals gives Portland back the lead, 12-11.
With a low center of gravity and a lot of strength, Tim Campo able to finagle his way in front of the net and slide it past Lachon. Lachon, again, needs some more equipment repair. So we'll see if they can go ahead and get that fixed up for once. And final time, 9:32 remaining, fourth quarter. LumberJax with a 1-goal advantage, 12-11.
Lachon, after being flawless in the third quarter, has allowed 3, 2 of which have come from Tim Campo in the fourth quarter, and we may have a challenge. Well, we will have a challenge. Colorado throws out the flag. So you have to see what happens. A quick game reset in the fourth quarter. Colorado opened up 2 quick goals. First quarter lead of 2-0 before Portland answered with 5 straight in the first quarter to lead at the end of one, 5-2. We'll talk over the replay that's now being disputed by the Colorado bench. Bob McMahon choosing to use a challenge in the early part of the fourth quarter. Second quarter, Colorado opens up with a goal. Portland answers with 2 straight. A big exchange of goals as each team with 4 in the second quarter. We were a 9-6 lead for Portland at the end of the first half.
So seeing if Campo is inside the crease for the ball crosses, I believe is the explanation. If the ball crosses the goal line, and he obviously is within, we'll see if the call is if he was shoved in before the shot was taken. So we'll see it in real time here, or a little speedy, I should say. Campo spins before he lets the shot go.
Forsett draped all over him.
Shot is gone before he enters the crease. So it looks like we'll see. That is a close one to call. We had one of those last games and it was overturned. Not in favor of the LumberJax, but Tim Campo in front.
I mean, to be honest, because of the way Forsyth was kind of draped over the back of him, I honestly think they allowed the goal just because there could have been a penalty in that area. They're still reviewing it. You know, that thing where in basketball, the ball goes out of bounds. It should have been a foul, but it was last touch. They give it back to the team that was fouled without calling a foul. If the goal stands, Portland will have a 12-11 lead. If it doesn't, we're tied back up at 11 with under 10 to play. Third quarter was all Colorado. It was 9-6 at the end of one half. In the third quarter, Colorado gets 4 goals, does not allow one, takes a 10-9 lead into the start of the fourth quarter. But since Portland has scored 3 of the last 4, if this Tim Campo one stands. Ryan Goff, Kyle Stanfield in the Rose Garden from our broadcast location up at the top of the first section on the side that houses the penalty boxes, which have been busy this evening. 4 penalties combined in the third quarter. 2 Portland penalties to start off the fourth quarter. Gave a 5-on-3 advantage that it was Brian Langtree capitalizing. Langtree now with 4 goals in the game. Physicality, fights, penalties. It's just been a good quality National Lacrosse League game in Portland tonight, with both teams trying to get the West Division second place spot.
Very, very entertaining on both sides, defensively and offensively. Physical play has really been one of the key things that we're going to note on tonight, because both teams coming out very, very physical, obviously with a lot of penalty minutes, just like in the stealth game we saw a few weeks back, or last week we should say. But, you know, this team for the LumberJax needs to step up in the physicality department, have a great defense. They need to really push the transition game, as you saw Brody Merrill getting unleashed tonight, the best transition player in the league. So when you're able to unleash him, get into the transition, you know, goals are going to come from that. But when teams are able to slow down Portland and really get in that half court, it's difficult for them to score on their normal offense. But again, you got to do it in this type of level. On the Colorado side, they're very good in the offensive set. Langtree and Prout, Shuchuk, some of those dangerous people you will find on the offensive end. Their defense has stepped up tonight, allowing 11 goals to go by at this time, unless this goal stands, making it 12. But the referee's still looking at the shot to see if Tim Campo's goal will be his third and his hat trick. So we'll see the Jeopardy theme being played underneath the over the PA at this moment. But great game, entertaining game, and again, like we said before, they know what's on the line. No one wants to travel on the road for the first round. You want to be at home, and Calgary looks like they're going to tie up one of those spots already, so everybody's fighting for that second playoff spot.
It's going to stand.
McMahon not happy in the box. Keeps it 12-11.
9:32 to go, fourth quarter. We won't have the under 10 break because of the goal. Bob McMahon disagrees with the decision by the referee. For Campo, his third goal of the evening. And Portland has regained the lead, up 12-11 on top of Colorado. Faceoff squirts out into the Portland end. And the LumberJax will bring it upfield, working right to left for the remainder of the fourth quarter. Ryan Powell, a little skip, looking for room. Trying to get some help. Back to Conway. Conway, no score, works around, bounce shot, and Latron almost lost it, falling backwards to keep it out. And we are under 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Portland 12, Colorado 11, 9:10 to go in the final period of regulation. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network.
Following tonight's game, the Colorado Mammoth return home to host the San Jose Stealth on April 11th at 7 p.m. For more information, visit coloradomammoth.com. Very pivotal game. That Stealth Mammoth game is going to be on the 11th, so get out to the Pepsi Center and watch that game because that's going to have implications for this upcoming playoff scenario. So we're back 12-11 alongside Ryan Goff and Kyle Stanfield. 9:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. 12-11 in favor of Portland.
Portland regains the lead, scoring goals in the fourth quarter from Tim Campo, 2 of them, including that last one that was contested in the challenge. Brody Merrill had his third as well in the fourth. Brian Langtree, the only goal for Colorado in the fourth period as they trail 12-11. Back to work offensively goes Colorado. Spinning, Langtree to his left against Codron. 16 to shoot, plenty of time for Colorado. Working against the rookie and first-time starter. In net, Matt Flindell saves it as he drops to his knees. For Flindell this evening, he has 31 saves on 43 shots. Excuse me, that's not accurate. That's Portland. As Colorado has thrown 52 shots and 41 saves for the rookie. Shot missed, over the top, picked up. Leishon outlets it. Running up the floor will come Ethington. And he will stop for some help with 8 minutes approaching in the fourth quarter.
Colorado going to go and get set in their half-court offense, I should say. Jed Prosner has a couple goals already tonight. They try to find the cutting Crampton, looks like. Yeah, Crampton. He's unable to get the ball and picked up by the rookie Yeager.
Colorado, you mentioned the game against San Jose. They finish up San Jose, then Edmonton, both at the Pepsi Center. Colorado this year 3-3 at home. In the series between Colorado and Portland, the home team has lost the last 2 meetings. Portland trying to end that, leading 12-11 right now. Conway at the top with 10 seconds, swings it over. Shot missed wide, Molosky. New shot clock. Molosky trying to pick it up off the carpet. Garbage finally scooped up by Stroop. Dan swings it out to the far side, receives it back. He'll wind up, almost took off the referee's head as he missed it well wide. Stroop on the year. Hasn't scored a whole lot. 14 to shoot for Portland. Conway, he has not scored tonight. Far side, shot missed. Campo, rebound, bounced by the Mammoth. Carlson's out in front. Decked on the outlet passes the Colorado player. Carlson in front against Flindell, and the whistle blows. The shot never came off by Carlson. They call timeout. Think I heard timeout? Illegal substitution going to be the call against Colorado. We'll send one on the Mammoth to the box, and that is a bad timing for that kind of penalty because instead of having a wide open look at the net, you'll now give Portland a power play with only 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
It's right here. Richard Morgan just clocks through Safrick. He goes down hard. That's the first penalty. Richard Morgan, again, I think it's going to be elapsing almost his 10th minute in the box tonight. It's either his 8th or his 10th. And then with their legal substitution, Mammoth on the run. Clear way to Flindell, but somebody gets anxious coming out of the box, and with that, the illegal substitution will sit that player down, making it back to that 5-on-5 advantage. Well, 5-minute major to Richard Morgan, going high on Safrick, unable to defend himself. So no matter what happens, he will be sitting down for the 5.
So the check, a 5-minute major charged to Richard Morgan. That sent him to box, and then the illegal substitution answers 2 back. So they'll play 4-on-4 for the first 2 minutes as Colorado expires its penalty, and then a 3-minute opportunity with the extra man for Colorado, which trails Portland 12-11. 6:40 to go out in front. Shoe check, knocked down to the turf. Ball pops loose, picked up by Flindell. Whistle blows and over. Called against Portland.
Ball was knocked back into the crease to get picked up, but cannot be picked up by the goalie. So the ball stays in possession for Colorado.
Screen, sets it up over the top. Langtree overshot Prout, chases it down, far side corner. 6.5 to play. Colorado down by 1. Delayed penalty coming up against Portland. As knocked to the turf was Shuchek. They're going to go ahead and wait. 9 seconds left. Goalie checks off. Here comes the extra man with 5. So this is a 6-on-4. Shot, score. How did that go in as Prout just took it up from the top? Ties us up at 12, and the penalty will come up to give Colorado still an advantage.
Gavin Prout rips it from deep to the near side of Flindell, and he simply can't stop it. Matt Flindell now has allowed 12 goals to sneak by him on 53 shots, evening up this game 6-10. As you mentioned, that'll send another penalty to the box for the LumberJax, as well as having 4 minutes remaining still on Big Richard Morgan.
Yeah, it wasn't 6-on-4 because 2 players in, 1 for Portland and 1 for Colorado. So instead it became 5-on-4 when they brought the extra man in. Still 1:09 left on the Colorado power play. Or excuse me, the penalty. Taken away, Colorado gets it over. Etherington, shot missed, hit the back of the net on the rebound off the glass. Chased out, Forget will come up with it. For Portland, Stewart's in front of him near side. To the far side coming up is Jacobs. Brody Merrill will bounce it over to Jacobs on the far side. 44 seconds left on the Colorado penalty as it's 4-on-4 in the Colorado end. Scott Stewart loses it, picks it up. Portland behind the net is Powell. He backs himself in, getting tapped. Stewart, shot, save. Blechon. And now Colorado will come out with it. Their power play will begin at the end of this shot clock. Only 15 seconds left on the penalty charged against Colorado's Chris Gill. The Gill that wears 23, that is. So there's 2 Chris Gills on this team, approaching the 5-minute mark, tied up at 12.
Wide open field right now for Colorado. Gill comes out of the box, will add on one of the players, but it's a shot clock violation. He'll come right back on the field.
There was no time left. Gill should have head out, at least helped his team out.
Exactly, instead of going to the box. Yeah, exactly.
So 30 seconds can be expired. Richard Morgan's major still has 2.5 minutes left. Powell brings it in, trying to split, won't proceed. Kind of backs his way in, kind of looking like Shaq, backing down against the Colorado defenders. Over the top, just missed tall. Rebound, Colorado has it with 5.5 to go, fourth quarter, tied up at 12. Carlson gets downfield, will wait for help. A lot of time on this possession. This could be a huge possession for Colorado. They've led a couple times in the fourth quarter. And Gavin Prout at the top. Rosiski down low. Is that Langtree? It is. Saved by Flindell into the corner for Prout with 2 minutes left. Rosiski, that doesn't go either, and that's out of play. Last touch by Flindell.
We'll go the under 5 timeout. You are watching the National Lacrosse League on the NLL Network. Following today's game, the next Portland home game is on Saturday, April 17th, when the Jacks come home, take on the Calgary Roughnecks here at the Rose Garden. Game time scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Tickets start for just $10. For more information, 503-797-9739 or visit PortlandJAX.com. That game also, the end of both schedules for both teams, can also be very pivotal in the hunt, especially for Portland. If tonight Calgary locks up number 1 in home field advantage, they can kind of go on cruise control, rest their players for the rest of the season, but that could actually have some definite implications for Portland. And as you mentioned before the break, Ryan, A great penalty right now for Colorado could be very pivotal, but a horrible penalty for the Portland LumberJax with still 2 minutes remaining on the Richard Morgan 5-minute major.
Colorado wins tonight. Portland will fall out of second place for the first time in, gosh, a couple of months. Prosser, shot, missed. Nice save on the Prosser delivery by Flindell. 44 saves by the rookie. 56 shots delivered by Colorado tonight. If Portland loses, they will also lose contention for first place as Calgary will clinch the top seed out of the Western Division. Stewart in the double team. Works it around the far side, across the top, pitched it underneath, tapped out by Colorado. Fight for possession, 7 seconds left on the clock. Pops out, and it's going to be an easy pickup for Colorado. Portland was running out of time on the shot clock anyway. 3 minutes left, tied up at 12 between Portland and Colorado. Winner gets sole possession of second place. Colorado would improve to 500 with a win. Portland would be above 500 with a win. Brzezinski to the near side, nothing doing. Prosser plays catch, gets it back, not going to shoot with only 10. Underneath, nice to the knees, save. On the outlet, Gill took it away and he scores. No! Crease violation. What a play by Chris Gill. He was right in front.
Ripped it right away from Flindell. Took a little too much time, put a foot in the crease, and that goal doesn't matter. That could have been a huge one for Colorado.
Would have made it 13-12. 20 seconds left on the Richard Morgan penalty. Powell will be patient. Nothing needed to be rushed. Just get your man back on. I don't think any power plays scored by Portland in the second half. 2 power play goals by Colorado into the corner. Violation. Only 5 seconds left. Richard Morgan will come out. Colorado quickly brings it up. Carlson across midfield. Penalty's over. Richard Morgan comes on to help. To the far side, tied up at 12. Shoe check. Won't go. Shot Prosser into the pads. And Portland has it with under 2 to play.
12-12. Fourth quarter ticking down. And the crowd is up here in the Rose Garden. Cadron races across the timeline to the 12-year vet Stroop near side.
17 seconds on the shot clock. Portland trying to go ahead. Tied up at 12 apiece. Stroop bounce shot into the pads. Leishon. Oh, nice diving effort by Campo. But now Colorado has it with 90 seconds to go. Catton to the far side. Will substitute out. It got free. Wide open. Luc Forget. He's going to try to beat it. Shoots. Save. Leishon makes what could have been disastrous for Colorado into a positive. Forget came out with it, but Portland has it. Yeager and a fresh shot clock. 1 minute, 3 seconds left, tied up at 12. Closing seconds coming up in a closely contested game. Far side is Molosky. Gets help. Conway is going to wind up to take the lead. Save. And 49 seconds left. Timeout called for? No. Outlet brought over to Gouze. He'll wait for some offensive help. 40 seconds remain, tied up at 12 in the fourth quarter. Colorado with possession, working against Portland. One-on-one, underneath. Langtree just missed. Shot behind the net, and it's going to go to Portland as it's tied up in the net. 29 seconds left, and a timeout called for by the Portland LumberJax. 29 seconds left. 12-12. We'll keep it here. As you have to imagine the credit you have to give Portland for what they were able to do. Richard Morgan put in 5-minute major, 3 minutes of extra man because Colorado had an illegal substitution that cut into that major by 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden, Portland, Luc Forget, a huge save by Andrew Leishon. Forget had an effort, left side, save. And we're tied up at 12 still. Portland deciding what to do with 29 seconds left.
Yeah, that play by Forget alone really is the epitome of what this game has been all about. First of all, he gets the shot blocked by Leishon. Ball dribbles over to the near side. He runs all the way around and still keeps the ball alive for the LumberJax, then picked up by Bruce Alexander near midfield. But great play, hustle points definitely to Luc Forget. And as you said, 29 seconds. Derek Keenan trying to set up what he wants his offense to be like. We got big Rich Morgan Jacobs, Stroop, Conway, and Powell. Molosky is also in the game. They have pulled the goal. Molosky will stay back in case of any quick shot or deflection by Colorado. But here we are. And Molosky brings it up. 6-on-5. Here we go.
Andrew Lachon's only allowed 3 goals in the second half. 20 seconds to go. Molosky brings it into the zone. 15 seconds, tied up at 12. Portland looking for the winner. Empty net. Molosky with 8, now 7. Eyeing it, Conway, near side, off the screen from Powell. He has a lane, shot it high, out of play. Stops the clock with 2.2. Swing it out, down low. Carlson, empty net. The shot does not get off. He lost it. We're going to OT.
Wow, great hustle. Corey Conway and Matt Flindell diving at the end. Corey Conway slamming himself into the boards, but watch this. Quick release all the way down, almost on the money to Carlson. Carlson, great play by Conway to knock it away, but Carlson, talk about an opportunity at literally the last second, but we are going to overtime, my friend.
Corey Conway's stick comes in there. That deflect. If Carlson could just deflect it, there's only 2.2 seconds left. It might not have got in time, but I tell you what, that was a heck of a play by the one-year man, Corey Conway. Overtime coming up, tied up at 12. Portland and Colorado when we return to the Rose Garden on the National Lacrosse League's NLL network.
If you're watching this on NLL.com or listening to SiriusXM, you're listening to one heck of a game tonight. We're going into overtime, 12-12 between Colorado and Portland. Second place implications on the line. Portland 6-6 on the season. Colorado a half game back, 6-7. This game really teeters about what the playoff scenario will look like coming into next week. We are set. Ryan Goff, Kyle Stanfield right here at the Rose Garden.
A sudden death overtime period. Portland led 5-2 in the first quarter, led 9-6 at halftime. Colorado scored 4 straight in the third to lead 10-9 after 3, and we're tied up at 12 heading into overtime. What a final 29 seconds that was of regulation. Portland getting a look. Conway kind of scooped it up underneath, went out of play, and then a full outlet by Colorado against the empty net from Portland. And if Corey Conway doesn't get a stick in there, that might have been deflected in. Nonetheless, we're in overtime as Pat Jones will meet at center circle, working against Chris Gill for the faceoff. The overtime period from the Lumberyard. Scramble for the faceoff, pitch backward. Richard Morgan will chase it down for Portland, and the LumberJax will have the first offensive opportunity. Brody Merrill, 3 goals. Tim Campo, 3 goals. Jacobs is on the near side with Molosky. Back behind Corey Conway, cuts in front of the net. Campo's at the top. Powell has it, works to the left, spins to his right, shot. LeSean falls on it, it's in front. Crease violation, will give it back to Colorado. And the Mammoth trying to hold on to get second place.
The biggest thing about this scenario right here, with this being the golden goal type of effect, to not let anything cheap. If someone beats you on skill, someone beats you by a good shot, you can live with that, but don't let anything cheap go by or miss an assignment because of the implications right now. Langtree up front, takes a shot, saved by Flindell.
Nice work by the rookie. Langtree has 4 goals in the game, pitched it behind his back. 12-12, first minute of overtime. Forget gives it up to Molosky. Jacobs cuts in front. Back behind, you have Stroop. Richard Morgan comes on for help. Screen, set up to the top, underneath Stroop, missed wide left. Rebound, gonna roll, you gotta get to it before it crosses half, and Portland does. Pitched it back behind, Colorado took it away. Look downfield, they don't. Instead, Forsyth will wait for some help. Colorado trying to get the winning goal against Portland's LumberJax at the Rose Garden. Colorado has fought so hard behind great goal play in the second half. by Andrew LeSean. With 10 seconds on the shot clock, they get it behind the net. Alexander defending, working, falling, back to the top, shot for the win, just high. Missed it, rebound, no new shot clock as Langtree got it back. Stick broken. On the far side, Portland will bring it up. Kusterer pitches it back. Corey Conway on. To the near side is Tim Campo. In front is Miloski. Jacobs and Powell. Campo lost it as he gets it toward the board. 14 seconds at the top. Here comes Powell. Works it to the left. He has an opening for the win. Saved off the face mask. LeSean makes a save off his helmet. And Colorado will get another chance with under 13 to go. Tied up at 12. Jamie Shuchuk. And the captain, Gavin Prout. Prout, 3 goals, make it 2 in the game. 23 on the year for Prout. Here comes Langtree, one-on-one with Condren. He's going to try to work it into the middle. Stops, try to find help. Prosner doesn't have it. Shuchuk in front, missed, rebound. Trying to get it is Portland. Merrill comes out with it. 12-18 to go.
Great play by Matt Flindell, keeping his team in it. But also the defense really stepping up. They're allowing him to kind of get in front of the net, but Matt Flindell being there as the brick wall in the back as he should be. The key thing for both teams, as we said, no cheap goals, but also keeping everybody on the field. No stupid penalties, especially in overtime.
Morgan sets up the screen. That shot, long rebound. Carlson picks it up. We'll bring it across for Colorado. Open field in front. Gill checks off. Here comes the help for Carlson. Carlson has had opportunities on the breakaway. An illegal substitution one almost negated what would have gave Colorado a 13-12 lead. Prout brings it in with 10. At the top, Langtree off the screen, works it to the far side. Shuchuk with 6. Now 5, patient, looking for some help. Cutters Langtree, missed it. 1, shot clock violation.
For Colorado, they definitely have to look towards Langtree and Prout like we've talked about before. Both of them elapsing over 60 points this year alone. So those guys are who you're going to go to. Everybody's getting tired, but you got to rely on skill, and those guys having a massive amount of it.
11 minutes left in the sudden death overtime. Tied at 12. Winner gets sole possession of second in the Western Division. Powell to the left side with 12. Spins toward the crease, works it back out. Cross to the top side. Oh, Jacobs. That was Condren. Barely missed it over the top. 5. Now 4 in front for the win. It's a save. Rebound. Score. Peter Jacobs gives Portland the win. And the LumberJax get a 13-12 victory. And the rookie, Matt Flindell, in goal, is getting beat up by his teammates. He gets his first career NLL win. Portland 13, Colorado 12, the final from the Lumberyard. And the LumberJax have second place.
Peter Jacobs shaken up earlier, rolled an ankle, went out of the game 2 different times to get rewrapped. Comes in, Dan Stroop, talk about him backing that way in, getting that rebound, shooting that shot. LeSean cannot control that rebound. Jacobs, as we can see right here, LeSean cannot control that rebound from Stroop. Stroop's on the floor up front. Right place, right time. Peter Jacobs picking up the trash. In reality, LeSean nearly gets to it before it goes back in the back of the net. But great shot by Jacobs. So close. LeSean about kept this game going. But Peter Jacobs, like we said, right place, right time.
2 great save efforts by Andrew LeSean. That second one barely over the top and barely before the shot clock. Peter Jacobs gets Portland the win. What a game between Colorado and Portland. And I guarantee you there's a highlight that'll be on NLL.com. That one right there. The review, it stands. And Portland wins 13-12.
You know, there's a man right there. McMahon cannot be disappointed with his team's